Welcome everyone to another Pixelated review. I'm your host, Pixelated Jordan. So what we have here is something I've always been wanting to read about. Something I've always looked forward to because I've always loved the paranormal and more specifically, ghosts. I always love ghosts. I literally wrote a book about Unborn Ghost. There's a blog, link in bio. Point is, I've always wanted to read books like these. Something that just the main character has ghost-like abilities or just something evolve around that, And usually it's like ghosts are usually secondary. Usually it's mostly about the vampires, werewolves, or wizards and stuff like that, Never just this side of ghosts. And when I was suggested this, I was really amazed because I was like, oh, I gotta figure what this is about. And yeah, so it's a grim awakening, and I absolutely have a great time with this one because, ghosts. I'm always fascinated with the idea of ghosts. So that already got me going for it already. So anyway, I don't know what else I can really say other than I'm excited to review this story. Or both stories, I guess. Point is, I'm excited. So without further ado, let's start the review. Book 1, The Forest of Hollow. So we start off in this book kind of like in a creepy, weird way. It was suggested that, oh, I need your help, Death, to confront this Reaper to not take my wife. And so it makes a deal with Death. Close enough to the devil, basically. Might as well be making a deal with the devil. Whatever, point is, Death. And then we get to our main character, Grim. And Grim, he kind of lives a bad life. I feel bad for him, really bad for him. He's just kind of bullied all the time. Everyone hates him, and it's just kind of like for no reason. But there is a reason, and it's kind of funny too because his father resents him so bad. Even the little brother he has, they do a bunch of stuff together, but nothing with Grim. And then we kind of get into the story, and the story is like, oh hey, Reaper's gonna take your mom regardless. Well, then what was the prologue there for? Because something messed up. Let me tell you that right now. It was actually something I'm really excited about. Basically, where Death said, oh yeah, it was sacrifice your first son in this kind of way. So, and it did not happen, that ritual did not happen the way it was supposed to. Therefore, Grim is just something else. And once we get into the story, the plot of the Reaper, and then I think Reaper has a sidekick too. I can't remember his name on top of my... The Raven. We get into kind of this other side of things. The bully used to was bullying him because he was, and then now he's kind of teaching him things, which I found a little weird. But then we kind of start exploring the whole world of the Grim. It's talking about these spiritual abilities and how things work, and they use like other little things to travel to different places, and it's really cool. I really like that. One of the antagonists of the story is actually the father himself, and then when they confront the Reaper and the other little things, like there's also these bad guy ghosts basically, and it's a whole the whole society of ghosts, and it just expands on that. And I feel like I want people to read this more because I want to gush about it more. Point is though, there is more to meets the eye, and when it gets to the end, we do have an understanding of what happened, why Grim is the way he is, and why his mother got kidnapped still, even after the sacrifice. And there's more to this Council of Ghosts as well. And I know they're not called the Council of Ghosts, but still, that's kind of how I pictured it. But it's generally something fun, and I was really happy to finally see, ghost-like abilities. This is something I was so excited for. So, for anyone out there who wants a young adult novel that has ghost abilities, here we go. Not just Danny Phantom, it's this book right here. Alright? So, with that being said, the only thing I could say I kind of didn't like was that sometimes the exposition took a lot longer or things are a lot slower. And that's the only thing that kind of drags out a bit. But it is the first book, so I can't really complain that much about it. So, that being said, The Forest of Hollow. It gets a rating of... Check it out. Book 2, The Lost Catacombs. Book 2 takes off after, the end of the first one, as they normally do. And it does expand on the world. And it does we learn a little bit more about Grimm as a character and his spiritual abilities. He's kind of OP if he kind of gets to be OP, which is something I'm looking forward to. And this one was a bit of a stretch at points because The Lost Catacombs was a DLC in a video game, which was weird. Now, I don't mind, when I'm a reader, the reader I am, I kind of let everything kind of slide and do their own thing, I don't really complain. I just go like, oh, okay, that's how the world works. But yeah, this one kind of like took me a little while to go, wait a minute, what? So the video game thing was a bit weird because it did tell him about all these skulls he needs to find and what they do and stuff like that. And even the Reaper kind of knew about it. Don't know how. I still trying to figure out the video game stuff. That's the only thing that really bothered me with this book. It's weird. Anyway, the whole other thing about that is that we do get, when we get into this, I think the Lost Bones Catacomb, it does get crazy. Like, oh my god, that lady in there, she is nuts. How they figure out how to beat her was something I would never figure out, honestly. But other than that, even before that, we started expanding more on the spiritual abilities, which were awesome. We're doing more with that. It's sounding so much cooler, and then I'm getting into it. Like, I really love stuff like that. The world building is even getting better too, so it's just expanding from what it did in the first and just getting more and more and more. Then, now, what else? Oh yeah, the council did show up for a little bit. They played a little bit of a bigger role in the first one. They kind of played the secondary definitely in this one, so they weren't that big. And the Reaper did too, kind of the same thing, a little bit. Point is though, they are there's something they could do with that. Hopefully in the next one, because it seems like the council are going to get involved with Grimm now, which is something I'm looking forward to. When they do, I think it's going to make the series a lot better and just kind of expand on this other side of the ghost society stuff and just expand on it. I'm so excited for that. And as far as the book goes, it generally paced very well, and it had a lot of world building and character development, and I just really enjoyed it all. Can't really complain a lot. So with that being said, I will give The Lost Bone Catacombs a rating of, check it out. Overall, I gushed about it because I really just love ghost-like abilities, and it's just fun to see something different other than vampire, werewolves, wizard stuff. To have something like this to just expand on just the spiritual side of things, and yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I just felt it was it just felt so much fun to see how creative someone could be just using spiritual like things, and it was a lot of fun. So with that being said, I would like more people to read this, definitely, because it's so much fun. It's got a lot of character. Grimm, and I know it's funny, it makes me call it, the title is called A Grimm Awakening, and it's a character named Grimm. And it does actually play a lot into that, his grim state of, everyone's miserable around him. They do correct that in the second one. Well, not correct it, they make a reason to why everyone doesn't like him. And I think it's a great thing. And I really am looking forward to the third book, because all the hints we got in the first two books of what the spirit's actually inside of him, what Grimm is actually capable to do, and how can they save their mother. I really like that. There's a lot to this story that I'm excited to see what could come through. So, I'm hoping the third book comes out soon, because I want to read it so bad, because I'm hooked already. Anything that you just said, oh, you want young adult ghost-like abilities? Yeah, I'm in for it. Yeah, me. Tell me about it. If you have any knowledge of ghosts like this, something spiritual abilities, not wizards, not vampire, not werewolves, just specifically spirits or ghosts, and it's a young adult book kind of like this, please recommend it to me, because I want to check more of this stuff out. So, with that being said, for a series so far, I give A Grimm Awakening a rating of, check it out. Thank you for watching. Hi guys, I want to thank you guys all for watching again. I really do appreciate it. I will link these books down below, so that way you may check them out. Also, did you know I too am an author? That's right. If you're looking for something similar of ghost abilities, check out Unborn Ghost. It is available on Amazon just like A Grim Awakening, so if you are interested, I'll link that down below as well. And as always, I have more in the playlist below, and I hope you all have a great day.